Okay, so we're moving on to part number 3 of this set. So this is going to be 3-1.1 part 3. This one is a little bit more tedious as the dimensions are not all in one place. So there's 5 different views that we have to look at to kind of get all of the information for this part. So let's go ahead and get started so that way we're not wasting time on this. So it's a standard IPT. We're just going to go ahead and open it up. The best way to create this part is by going based off of this this view right here. We're going to be revolving it, so we're really only going to be drawing half of it. But the easiest right now, what I just drew it myself. I'm just going to draw the full section and then draw a line down the middle and revolve half of it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to draw a new sketch on the YZ plane. And I want you guys to go ahead and create 3 rectangles. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to use our coincident constraints to go ahead and lock these in. So we're going to find the green dots and line them up with the origin. And then I'm going to find the green dot here and the green dot there. Make sure that they're all aligned. I'm then going to go ahead and put in some dimensions. This right here is going to be 0.111. That is that thickness. This thickness is 0.140. And then this overall thickness, it would be really helpful if that information was found here, but it's not. It's up here on this section view up at the top. It's 0.628. So from the front to the back, it's 0.628. That is its overall depth. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in its overall diameter, which is 1.990. So I'm just going to click on that diameter there, and that is going to be 1.990. Okay, and then if we look here, we have a hidden line, and if we look here, we see that these two lines line up. Okay, let me actually zoom in so that way we can see this a little clearer. If we look here, we have this line and that line, they line up, so they are even with each other. So that hidden line is representative of that, and that diameter is 879. So 0.879. And then this over here is also 879. So we're going to put that in. Okay, so we have that. We have 3 different rectangles, and since we're going to be revolving it, I do want to draw a line down the center because we're only going to revolve half of it. I know I'm usually normally just draw half and then revolve it, but in this case, just because this is a rather difficult part to draw or kind of visualize, I wanted you guys to see it like this. So we're going to revolve these top halves there, and then this line that I drew, I'm going to go ahead and use that as my axis. Okay, so if I turn it to this way, I can see what I just created. Okay. So we have a bunch of circles happening right here, but if we look at this view up on the top, we have a counter bore. So I'm going to go up here to hole, and I'm just going to click on this face here, and I'm going to use this as my concentric reference, and I'm going to use a regular hole, a simple hole that has a counter bore seat or a counter bore hole. And then I'm going to come over here to this view and find all of the information. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff going on, but I have to find this note right here that tells me all of that information for the hole. Okay, so the counter bore, the largest number on there is 0.485. Its depth is 0.325. Okay, and its diameter going all the way through is 0.316. Okay. And it does go all the way through the entire part, through all. So we're just going to say okay. All right. So that's that. That is that center hole. So if we look at it from here, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. Why do we see 5? 1, 2. Oh, because there's one hidden line circle. Okay, that's why we see more than just one. Okay, we're going to keep on moving like that doesn't really happen. Okay. That's why, because this hidden line that I measured to is the incorrect hidden line, or the incorrect measurement. It's the 667. So let's go back to this revolution here, and this one here. Oops, sorry. This one here should be 0.667, and then this is correct. So this is what it should look like. Okay. So now this is correct. Okay. Sorry guys, I was wrong. It happens a lot. Okay, just pretend like it doesn't. Don't tell anyone. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put in some holes. We have a hole happening right here with a detailed section view, this circular view. And we have these two holes as well as these two holes. So these two holes are the same and these two holes are the same. So I'm going to put this hole and this hole together and this hole with those two holes. So I'm just going to make a sketch here and we are going to put that in. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff happening on this. So I'm just gonna draw in this line for reference, okay? Because I have this feature happening at an angle, I need to put in this angular reference, okay? This line needs to be at a 25-degree angle. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in 25 degrees, mark it in right now, okay? And what I have happening right here is not a circle, it's not a rectangle, it is a slot. So I need to go over here to my rectangle pull down and go from rectangle to slot center to center. Click here, open it up, and I'm just going to click right there. Okay? Here I'm not getting very much information as to what this dimension is or what these dimensions are. I need to look at the detailed view, which is up here, and it'll give me all of the information that I need to know. Okay, so the radius of this, I'm just going to click right there. The radius is 0.063. Okay, and this line, if I pull it out this way, which is not the way that it's dimensioned on the drawing, is not right. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on aligned. When I click on aligned, it moves it so that way it is in line with the proper, or in line with the, it's parallel with the line. So as soon as it does that, I'm going to click and I'm going to say 0.024. Okay, so it makes it look like this, and this is exactly what I want. Okay, now we need to locate it. So it is it's 0.616 from the center mark. Okay, so from the center mark here to the center mark there, it is 616. But again, it's measuring in the vertical location. That's not what I want. So I'm going to right click, go to aligned, click there, 0.616, and it's now properly marked. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw a line for reference. Okay. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to use my coincident constraint. I'm going to lock it into that place right there. And then I'm going to dimension it and lock that into place at 55 degrees. Okay, because I have a circle that goes here and a circle that goes here. Well, since I already have these two circles, this line marking here, I'm just going to go ahead and dimension this line to be this diameter. Now this diameter is 879. Since I locked it in that midpoint in with the center line, or that midpoint in with the origin, I can go ahead and just dimension this line to be that diameter, 0.879. Okay, so then I can put the circles that I'm needing to put, diameters 0.19 on the ends, like so. Okay, so I have drawn 1, 2, 3 cutouts. 1, 2, 3 cutouts. I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to extrude these 3 cutouts. And make sure that you are cutting and say okay, and that's that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put in these 2 holes here. But since there's nothing going on this view, we're going to have to look for that information elsewhere, which we find over here. Okay, so we have 2 holes happening on a circular center line with a diameter of 1.418, and they are located at 2 different locations, or 2 different angles, 25 degrees and 15 degrees. So I'm going to turn this around. So I'm looking at the back side. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line and a line. Oops. Hopefully they aren't at the same angle. And just kind of really exaggerate that they are different. And then I'm going to draw a line that I know is perfectly flat. Okay. Let's go ahead and lock these lines in at their right angle. So this first one is 25 degrees, and this other one is 15. Okay. I'm going to make a circle that is 1.418 in diameter. And I'm going to put 2 points where those lines and the circle intersect. Finish my sketch, click on hole, and Inventor finds those 2 points automatically. And then I'm just going to change the hole type. So from a simple hole, I'm going to change it to a tapped hole. Now a tapped hole is a different way of saying that it's a threaded hole. So it's a thread hole. It has no seat, which means that it's not a counterbore or countersink, so it's a plain hole. And the size of it, well, it says 632 UNC 2B. Well, it doesn't give me a size. I don't know what that is. Well, good for you that we don't know that, but Inventor does. That, well, if we scroll up and we see these numbers, we can say, oh, look, there's a number 6. Oh, look, that matches 632 UNC, 632 UNC. Bingo, that's the one I need. And say, okay, boom, done. That's exactly what I need. Okay, so I believe that we might be done. I think. So let's look at it. But I'm not sure. Okay, because I'm looking at this dimension right here. This 040 and this 337. I know I didn't use them. And I know it's something easy to do. And I know that there's something going on right here that we didn't do. So let's go ahead and take care of that. So I'm just going to make a sketch right here on the front. I'm going to, or on this face right here. Going to use my project geometry. I'm just going to highlight that portion, finish my sketch, go to extrude, and I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to type in 337, cut, make sure I'm changing my direction. Hold on, that's not right. Yes, it is. Okay, so right here, remember how I deleted or I changed this 667, this 879 to 667? Well, on this back side, this 667 also needs to exist. Okay, so when I go to extrude, I'm just cutting out 667. I'm sorry, 337 to there, so that way I end up with something that looks like that. Okay, so that and this should be it. Okay, I know that there's this 88 degrees and this, and I have absolutely no idea what this is. There are no extra views to tell us what this is. I'm assuming it's some sort of like cutout, some sort of key like cutout, but it's really hard to see. The only reason why I added this is because there are more clear views as to what this cutout is. This right here is not very clear, so I'm not going to add that in. So I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and save this. This is 3-1.1, part 3. Again, remember that if you are not saving the same way that I am saving, you'll start losing points when I grade. So make sure that you are saving it correctly. Let's go to new so we can lay it out on a sheet. So go to your title block and let's lay it out. I don't want to put this on a size sheet the way that it is here. I do want to put it on a B size sheet, so we're going to change this sheet size to a B size sheet, so that way we can increase the scale, and so that way everything is not jammed in there. So that way the next person that reads this, if we were to if we were to see this, if somebody else were to see it, they could see it a lot clearer than we did. 3 is a little too big, so let's go with 2.5. Okay, so we have a side view, we have or this is the front view, sorry. We have a side view, and let's leave it as that. And then let's go with projected. We're projecting this so we can get the back side. Create. And then we're going to, let's move this down a little bit so that way we can give ourselves a little bit more room. Let's go to a section view. We're going to section, we're going to section this view. I'm hovering over this so I can use that center line or that center mark as my reference. And I'm going to turn off the visibility of my identifier, my label. And I want to put that there. And then I do want to put a detail view of this guy right here. And maybe I don't need it quite as big as that person or whoever was the original person to draw this. See how big they made it? So let's double click on it. Double click on the view. And let's change it to that. Or maybe it's just way too big to begin with. Maybe we don't even need it at all, since this view is, since we've already given ourselves quite a bit of space to begin with. Okay. What we are missing though are hidden lines. So make sure that we turn on our hidden lines so that way we can see everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and put in our center lines. So we do need center lines on everything, on all of our holes, on all of our everything. And then we do need a center line from there, from there to there. Create. And then let's put one over here, there to there. Create. And then we'll just put some centered patterns. Well, okay. I guess we don't really need a center pattern. All right, so it is your responsibility to go ahead and pause the video right here and to go ahead and I will make this full screen. So, full screen. So that way you guys can use this as reference for your dimensioning purposes. When you guys are done with dimensioning, you guys will upload this as a PDF into the OneNote, into the classroom notebook, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Although I've already said it before, make sure that you guys are saving this often. Although at this point, if you haven't saved it, that's your own fault. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know, and if you need any help, well, make sure to ask. Thanks, guys.